Conspiracies about the American government that turned out to be true. Conspiracy theories often evoke images of shadowy figures and secret plots, but sometimes these theories are grounded in reality. Over the years, several conspiracies involving the American government have been proven true, revealing shocking truths about covert operations, unethical experiments, and hidden agendas. This essay explores some of the most notable conspiracies that turned out to be true, shedding light on the darker side of American history. The Tuskegee Syphilis Study. One of the most infamous examples of a conspiracy that turned out to be true is the Tuskegee Syphilis Study, conducted by the U.S. Public Health Service between 1932 and 1972. This study involved 600 African American men, 399 of whom had syphilis. The men were told they were receiving free health care, but in reality, they were being observed to study the progression of untreated syphilis. The researchers did not inform the participants of their diagnosis, nor did they provide adequate treatment, even after penicillin became widely available as a cure in the 1940s. The study continued for 40 years, resulting in numerous deaths and severe health complications for the participants and their families. The Tuskegee Syphilis Study is a stark reminder of the ethical violations that can occur in the name of scientific research. MKUltra Project. MKUltra was a covert CIA program that aimed to develop mind control techniques through the use of drugs, hypnosis, and other methods. Initiated in the early 1950s, the program involved experiments on unwitting American and Canadian citizens, including prisoners, mental patients, and even members of the general public. CIA used substances like LSD and other psychoactive drugs to manipulate and control the minds of the subjects. The program was officially halted in 1973, but its existence was not revealed to the public until the mid-1970s, when a series of congressional hearings exposed the extent of the CIA's unethical activities. MKUltra remains one of the most notorious examples of government overreach and abuse of power. COINTELPRO, short for Counterintelligence Program, was a series of covert and often illegal activities conducted by the FBI between 1956 and 1971. The program aimed to surveil, infiltrate, and disrupt various political organizations deemed subversive by the government. Targets included civil rights groups, feminist organizations, socialist and communist parties, and anti-Vietnam War activists. FBI used a variety of tactics, including wiretapping, spreading false information, and inciting violence, to undermine these groups. The existence of COINTELPRO was revealed in 1971 when a group of activists broke into an FBI office and leaked documents detailing the program. The revelations led to widespread outrage and significant reforms within the FBI. Gulf of Tonkin incident, which occurred in August 1964, was a pivotal moment in the escalation of the Vietnam War. The U.S. government claimed that North Vietnamese forces had attacked two American destroyers, the USS Maddox and the USS Turner Joy, in the Gulf of Tonkin. This alleged attack led to the passage of the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution, which granted President Lyndon B. Johnson the authority to use military force in Vietnam without a formal declaration of war. However, subsequent investigations revealed that the second attack never occurred, and the initial incident was likely exaggerated. The Gulf of Tonkin incident is a prime example of how misinformation and manipulation can lead to significant political and military consequences. Operation Northwoods was a proposed plan by the U.S. Department of Defense in 1962 to stage false flag attacks against American citizens and military targets. The incident is a prime example of how misinformation and manipulation can lead to significant political and military consequences. Operation Northwoods was a proposed plan by the U.S. Department of Defense in 1962 to stage false flag attacks against American citizens and military targets. The goal was to create a pretext for military intervention in Cuba by blaming the attacks on the Cuban government. The proposed operations included hijacking planes, sinking boats, and staging bombings. The plan was ultimately rejected by President John F. Kennedy, but its existence was revealed in declassified documents in the 1990s. Operation Northwoods highlights the lengths to which some government officials were willing to go to achieve their political objectives. 6. Iran-Contra affair was a political scandal that emerged in the mid-1980s, involving the secret sale of arms to Iran and the illegal funding of Contra rebels in Nicaragua. The Reagan administration sought to secure the release of American hostages held by Hezbollah in Lebanon by selling weapons to Iran, despite an arms embargo. The proceeds from the arms sales were then used to fund the Contras, a rebel group fighting the Sandinista government in Nicaragua. The scheme was exposed in 1986, leading to multiple investigations and the conviction of several high-ranking officials. The Iran-Contra affair demonstrated the extent of covert operations and the willingness of government officials to circumvent the law. Pentagon Papers were a classified study of the U.S. government's involvement in Vietnam from 1945 to 1967. Commissioned by Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara, the study revealed that successive administrations had misled the public and Congress about the scope and progress of the Vietnam War. In 1971, Daniel Ellsberg, a former military analyst, leaked the documents to the New York Times and the Washington Post. The publication of the Pentagon Papers exposed the government's deception and fueled public opposition to the war. The Supreme Court ultimately ruled in favor of the newspaper's right to publish the documents, affirming the importance of a free press in holding the government accountable. The Church Committee, officially known as the United States Senate. Select Committee to Study Governmental Operations with Respect to Intelligence Activities was established in 1975 to investigate abuses by the CIA, FBI, and other intelligence agencies. Chaired by Senator Frank Church, the committee uncovered a wide range of illegal and unethical activities, including assassination plots, domestic surveillance, and covert operations. The committee's findings led to significant reforms, including the establishment of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, FISA, and the creation of permanent oversight committees in Congress. The Church Committee's work highlighted the need for transparency and accountability in intelligence operations. Watergate scandal is one of the most well-known political scandals in American history. In 1972, operatives linked to President Richard Nixon's re-election campaign broke into the Democratic National Committee headquarters at the Watergate complex in Washington, D.C. Subsequent cover-up efforts by the Nixon administration led to a series of investigations that revealed widespread abuse of power, including illegal wiretapping, campaign finance violations, and obstruction of justice. The scandal ultimately led to Nixon's resignation in 1974, making him the only U.S. president to resign from office. Watergate scandal underscored the importance of checks and balances in preventing government corruption. The Manhattan Project was a top-secret research and development program during World War II that produced the first nuclear weapons. Initiated in 1942, the project involved scientists and engineers from the United States, the United Kingdom, and Canada. The existence of the Manhattan Project was kept hidden from the public, and even for secret research and development program during World War II that produced the first nuclear weapons. Initiated in 1942, the project involved scientists and engineers from the United States, the United Kingdom, and Canada. The existence of the Manhattan Project was kept hidden from the public and even from many government officials until the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. The project's success marked a turning point in modern warfare and international relations, but it also raised ethical questions about the use of nuclear weapons and the secrecy surrounding their development. In conclusion, these examples of conspiracies that turned out to be true reveal the complex and often troubling history of covert operations, unethical experiments, and hidden agendas within the American government.